And I did want to shout out Gabriel. He was a Kano that Wesley played today. Popped him off at 28 and came up and talked to me, recognizing us from the podcast. So.
Dude, that is awesome. So we actually had someone that recognized you.
Yeah.
No way.
That was an incredible moment.
Heck yeah. That's like probably the first time, honestly.
Like wild, too. You're like...
Yeah, no, he started talking. He's like, do you do a podcast? I'm like...
He recognized your voice?
I'm like, holy crap, yes.
That's incredible.
Welcome back to Big Deck Energy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back here in studio with everyone for this week, which is a big exciting. I mean, this is the 25th episode, a little bit of a landmark.
Let's fucking go.
Today we're just going to be getting into a little bit of our week in Fab. We're going to be talking about some exciting new releases we've seen from heavy hitters, and we'll get into a little bit of how we think the new heroes are going to kind of format themselves with both the draft format coming up and how they'll kind of play into the older heroes in CC and Blitz.
Yeah.
So who wants to start off the weekend in Fab?
I can start quick.
Go ahead.
It was very short-lived. I was able to play one match at the Armory yesterday, I should say, because we're recording on Sunday. But
you should note all four of us got to play in the same Armory again.
Yes,
for the first time
good.
in a couple months.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, it has been a while since Cliff's been down, but...
It has.
It's good. But I played Sean. He played Riptide.
You were on Kano?
I was on Kano again. And very close match. We'll say if I wasn't an idiot, I win that game. Just he only had 2 AB, and I had a Aether Wildfire, and he only had 1 card in hand to AB. And I just did my math wrong in my head. Wasn't able to Kano the Blazing off the top. Only had 1 resource left over. But I didn't Crucible my Aether Wildfire. If I did that, kill.
Yeah, it's dead.
But pretty much threw the fist across. I had to get going too because I had to get home. People coming over, so yeah. But it was fun. Definitely a good game to get into with Sean. Good rematch.
Riptide Kano. That's like bottom of the barrel, dude. It's got to be a crazy game.
It is.
Cliff, why don't you go next? You
Sean
had some
just,
exciting stuff going on this weekend for
levels.
you.
Yeah, he does. He plays
great.
to their level. That's great.
Like one of my favorite to play against at the shop.
He's always a fun one, but my weekend in Fab was me and Wes made the drive back down to play in the Armory yesterday and the Case tournament at Viral Games today. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, how'd that go?
We'll get to that.
Whoa.
The Armory today, or yesterday, excuse me, went pretty good for me. I came back and brought the max deck with me. Ended up 3-1. First game into tie was my loss. That was... Towards the end, I do think if I have the full sideboard, and I might have won, but...
Were you running 60 cards exactly?
I think I was at 67 without the
Oh,
sideboard.
okay. So you actually had a little more than normal. Yeah, if you like throw all those other cards in, you probably maybe eke that one out.
But yeah, Teklo is a match that I was already scared of going into this season because he's just very effective at blocking Max.
Yeah, well, yeah, I feel very comfortable against like a Phi or like Max where they're just kind of
Throwing
and their math is very easily figured out. They're not hiding a lot of what they're trying to do, you know?
Yep. But yeah, game 2 went into Bailey's Vincent, and that went really well for me. I managed to get the construct down. The next turn it was a high octane with 3 boosts, so 3 attacks, 3 mechs. That's kind of done and done. That was 32 or 34 damage. The turn before though, that arcane turn you had and you summoned the demon out, that was spooky for a little bit.
Ooh, you got to what's his name? What's the demon's name?
I did summon Nazareth.
Yeah.
The soul harvest.
He started popping the rune chants and he had like 14 of them, and I was sitting pretty good life.
Ooh, damn, that's a lot of rune chants for Vincent. I feel like
you can get kind of sneaky with the Oblivion. You don't have to have like exactly 6, right? You just kind of play your attack, wait for your rune chance to...
Well, you do have to have exactly 6. You just can wait until you do.
You don't have to at the start of your
yes.
turn.
Yep.
You just wait until they start popping and then respond to your own room chance with the Oblivion.
When you have 6 left.
Yeah.
It's a sneaky trick.
It is.
You know, he popped that down, and I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
But that went well. Game 3, I ended up having a bye. I swapped my match into Wesley so that Tanner and Wes could play. Wesley, shout out him. He came down, and he was also 3-1 on the day. He was cooking with Bravo. And then we'll get to today now. Today has convinced me that although I love and enjoy mechs, that they are just not going to be viable until they get something. Like, we've got a lot of good cards, and Dash is still a pretty viable
Bro, they just
deck.
had a whole set. What more do you want?
It's the fact that... excuse me, sorry. It's the fact that they don't have, like, any punishable on hits. Like, today,
Yeah.
the big thing that really sank in today is we saw a lot of Azuri, right?
Yep.
A lot of
And-
disruption.
Lots of disruption, lots of just swapping in sneaky attacks to creep stuff over for on hits, lots of trying to read if they're bluffing the switch or not.
Yeah. Whereas
So-
Max is like the opposite of that.
Max is the opposite. I'm at your face trying to just going, you
Yep.
know? So it's a little bit, those matches, if I can race out fast enough, I can kill them. But game 1 into the Azuri, I just never felt like I had the leash. It felt like I had the collar.
Azuri's a tricky one, though. Like,
Yep.
Well, we've talked a lot about how we kind of
yeah.
hate to
that
play
matchup.
against
Yeah.
assassins,
With
basically
the-
regardless of who we're playing.
Yeah. With the absence of ice, she's definitely the queen of disruption.
Yeah,
Like,
it felt bad. Game 2, I was who was my game 2? Oh man, I think I've already blocked it from my memory. Game 2 was the Levia. Sebastian, he's kind of a local around here. Shout out him. Always really good guy. Always fun to play against. I got my construct out after I just took a big turn from him, and I'm like, yes, here we go. This is where I swing it around. And I'm like, hey, do you mind if I like swap out the rainbow foil for the Marvel I've gotten, like the thing here? And he's like, yeah, go for it. So I swap it out, and I've got it sitting there, and I'm like, all right, pass over to him. Arg smash. Smashes my construct.
Rip. Rip.
It's like, wow.
I just love
that's
that he had to be
perfect.
sitting there planning that the whole time.
Yep.
Like,
He's
you
like, yeah,
mind
go
if I
ahead.
get my, like,
Go ahead.
fancy
Put your
shiny-
Marvel out there.
You know,
Incredible.
At the end of the game, he's like, yeah, I drew it like turn 2, and, you know, Max has pretty much one goal, so I just stuffed it in the arsenal and just kind of played defensive till you got it out. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yep.
So
that's-
Arc Smash is just destroy any item? Is
yep.
it really
so
just...
you roll a dice.
Okay.
And then it's the same rule as Scab Skin, where it destroys half the number.
So he had to actually get lucky with his roll and to hit the...
He had to roll higher than a 2.
Oh, so not very lucky, but...
No, but imagine Arg Smash on, like, a Dash.io that was really trying to leverage your items. You Arg Smash, roll a 6, you pop 3 of her items. Like,
Yep.
that's pretty good
Pretty
value.
good. That's very good, yeah.
Game 3 was into a Dromai, and I've always had a good record into Dromai with my mechs, right? I've never been really afraid of that class, and that game started off good. I had swapped in the payloads for the extra poppers, and I was getting his dragons popped and everything, and once again, I had the board state beautiful for getting my construct, and he drops Tumulti
Oh,
and
man.
attacks with Tumulti. Even though I pop Tumulti, it still triggers the Teklo destruction.
Yep.
So that just shuts down that whole game plan. And I'm ended up forcing to race this Dromai, not having access to my resource generation to have my full efficiency turns. And then he's just sitting there accruing more and more dragons. And then he Kylorias and takes my hyperdrivers. I'm like, oh!
Kyloria.
Adding some insult to
Take
injury
the
there.
construct,
Yep.
too. That's the worst
Can
thing.
they really?
Yes.
Because it's an
No
item.
way.
So they could take my construct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Spooky.
wow.
Yeah.
And then the last game was against a Mursa, the Great Axe story.
Merciless Battle Axe. Yep.
Was it Merciless or Decimator?
Or no, is it Decimator, which halves?
It halves.
the-
Decimator.
That's the
Right.
that's the fatigue
That's the
one. Yeah,
Decimator
you're right.
one.
It is the
Yeah.
It was a
Decimator.
Decimator Dory, and I just never had the cards line up for Construct to come out.
Decimator's great.
So today has kind of. I'm not going to be on Max for this next
Sure.
season.
Sometimes that's what it takes, man. A bit, like, and you went to a tournament today that had like a lot of I don't want to say pro players, but I mean a lot of those. There were players playing
Like I
in that
said, there was a
tournament that
lot
have
of
played in pro
faces
tours, and
that
yeah,
I've seen top 8 at a lot of events. So
Minnesota does not have soft competitive scenes.
No.
It's very cutthroat and hard
It's the only
to
thing we
top
can
at
do
these.
to get out of the snow and the cold.
Yeah, dude.
We're stuck inside, just like throwing cardboard at each
6
other,
months
so
out of
we're
the
all
year.
like pretty good at it.
Yeah, today ended up with me being 0-4. Wes, who came down, was 1-3. We weren't really expecting the amount of Azuris, but they're there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did want to shout out Gabriel. He was a Kano that Wesley played today. Popped him off at 28 and came up and
Nice.
talked to me, recognizing us from the podcast. So,
Dude, that is awesome. So
That's
we
sick.
actually had someone that recognized you.
yeah,
No way.
that was an incredible moment.
Heck yeah. That's like probably the first
That's gotta
time,
be,
honestly.
like wild,
Mhm.
too. You're like,
Yeah, no, he
Whoa.
started talking. He's like, do you do a podcast? I'm like,
He recognized your voice.
I'm like, holy crap, yes.
That's incredible.
He asked before that Levia game if he could watch because he likes both the Levia and the Max Heroes. And, you know, me and Sebastian were like, yeah, sure. So he just watched me get my absolute ass beaten by this Levia.
Oh, that's great. So after the Max debacle, do you have any plans for like to change the hero for RTNs?
So there is the kind of fallback plan because he was the one that originally kind of wanted to do RTN and then Bright Lights.
Max
got
was, you mean?
released. No, Riptide.
Oh.
Because remember, I was talking about it, and then Bright Lights dropped, and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, we'll see what we got out of Bright
Mhm.
Lights, you know. And I thought there was some really good looks from Bright Lights, but the way that the meta has shifted is everyone is so adaptable to
Mhm.
what all the other decks are doing, and there's so much more interplay that just having a deck like Max that throws, that just face value damage, it's not enough. Because
Yeah.
if they can just interrupt you a little bit, they take away your whole game plan and ability.
Yep.
So I just need something that can move in between those a little bit better. And I like Riptide. I like the way he plays. He's got some sneak. He's got some pizzazz. So we'll start seeing if there's a little bit more big deck energy that way. Because this was a shower, not a grower.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Theoretically, you
Where-
should be better into Azuri with
What-
Riptide,
going into
with your D reacts and stuff.
this season
Yeah.
of Pro Quest, or is it RTNs or Pro Quest?
RTN.
RTNs.
We'll have heavy hitters legal as well.
Yes.
Too, right? So you aren't
Yes.
thinking anything there might sway your decision.
No Rhinar or
Kinda stuck
anything?
on,
Some crazy
That-
Blood Rush deck
That
that
is another thing that's been in my head. And
just fuck it, we ball. I mean,
that is always an opportunity with Rhinar. I still am not impressed with how Rhinar plays in CC. He still feels good. He can still win games. He can get there. He can convert. But his misfires are so much more punishing than any other deck. You roll a 1 on Scabbies, and if you're not running Gamblers, that is that turn. That's all you get.
yeah, yeah.
So there is a little bit of that, you know, mech consistency that you can run into with Rhinar, but we'll see if that can get fixed with
True.
how some of it goes. But
Yeah.
I still think I like my chances on Riptide
Yeah.
better.
Dude, I'm excited for KO, though. Low key.
Are you? What are you thinking for Pro Quest season, Josh?
Dude, honestly, KO or Kasai, to be honest. Maybe Kano.
Don't fucking play Kano and take me out round 1.
Why
Son
not?
of a bitch.
Why not?
I still think that I got lucky that game, dude.
Yo, with the Oasis.
I think I get lucky any time I beat a Kano with Teklo.
That was a beautifully placed Oasis.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
I mean, I
But
parked it into my
I don't know.
arsenal.
I think all those. I mean, I enjoy playing them. I've gotten actually a really good feel on Kano.
Mhm.
Cliff and I played another game, did 2 games today. First one cooked. Second one really close, like pretty damn close. Cliff just eked it out in the end there with 4 blue hand.
I kept hoarding blues. I'd just keep loading a face up arrow with its aim counter and shooting like a 1-5, and Josh would try
That's
to
all you
pop
need.
me.
Yeah,
And
a
I'd
lot
just
of
sit
times
there
that's like
and
all you
AB
need.
it
And I
all.
had a second like pitch stack setup where it was Aether Wildfire, Emeritus Scolding into a Blazing Aether. So it just would have ripped that whole
Mhm.
turn. And, you know, I feel actually really comfortable on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, might send it, might not.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if
Kasai's
you're-
always drawn me.
Feeling it, play it the first 1 or 2 and see how
Yeah.
it goes. And
I mean, I've been playing it these
I mean,
all
the good-
past weeks.
The good thing about the PQ season around here is there's enough where you can kind of pivot mid-season too.
Yeah.
If you're
And-
not feeling what you started on.
Of course, I'm going to build Kasai, so it's, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of tough. But
You know, I was thinking like with that deck with the
Hang on. Let's finish our weekend fab before we get too far into this.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
we're still technically kind
Yeah.
of in that segment. I just did want to say though, like with the blood on their hands, do you run that card with like because it's copper, right?
100%.
You still have cards that generate copper,
So
right?
so with
With the new Kasai.
the one-handed weapons, Outland Skirmish is
Spoils.
Spoils of War gives a
Okay.
go again, gives you whenever you hit in a turn.
Yeah.
Then again, you have the Outland Skirmish, which I love, and you can run 3 of them.
Also creates copper on hit.
Also, free buff by 3 and copper on hit.
So you have enough copper to
Exactly.
still
Yeah.
run that card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could run cash in to pop those copper, but
I
let's
saw
say
a thread where someone was talking about how they're just not going to run blood in their hands in the new Kasai. And I was like, what? Like, how is your deck built
How?
then? Yeah, I don't know.
There's
if
too much
you
power.
rip a Spoils of War turn on your blood on your hands turn, you're almost hitting every single attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 copper every
It's,
time you hit. That's your whole next blood on your
Yeah.
hands completely free.
Yeah. I'm just
Card
dude,
seems busted. Dude.
My mouth is like salivating at the thought of like blood on her hands after you just made your whole big army of cell swords.
Exactly.
Uh,
Dude, it's
it
huge.
could be a pipe dream. I mean, nobody knows how realistic it is yet, but that's pushing a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
I can do like, I think the most I dealt in one turn was like 27 while dominating one sword in Blitz with
Yeah.
old Kasai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While plow through, if you have plow through and then a twinning blade, it
dude,
gives you, or not plow
Plow-Through-
through, Oath of Steel. It gives your weapon +1 counter every time you swing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
if you can
before
swing it
anyone
multiple
says
times
cap.
in a turn,
Dude, plow through is such a fantastic finisher in that deck too.
yeah. Yeah. Imagine if you ripped a double blood on her hands with like 10 copper.
I've done it once.
What's the cap? 6?
6, but I mean you wouldn't
6
need the
per-
go again because
Imagine
the go
if you
again
had
gives
12.
it. Yeah, but go again gives it
Yeah, go again is for the entire turn.
the
though.
entire turn.
Oh, okay.
So you
don't
wouldn't even
like,
need
all
it.
those-
You'd only need 10.
Damn. Someone's going to do it out there.
And you can
That's-
swing your weapon 8 times in a turn.
That's probably gonna be someone's Kasai kill. Is they just double blood on her hands with a crap ton of copper.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you're in
because they could
CC
just
too,
run High
you-
Striker too,
I mean,
right?
You
You
could.
really want to reach for it? You can triple blood on her hands.
Yeah. I know we're getting off subject with this, but like, I'm telling you, Kasai is like a combo deck in itself. Like you can
Yeah.
pop off with Kasai.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
No,
I don't
she
know.
definitely
It's-
does.
I wouldn't.
feel-
I wouldn't be mad if she became popular.
She-
I think
I think she
Teklo has
will
a
be.
pretty good matchup.
I think she will be.
Definitely feels more combo than like warrior.
There's
Or,
a
like,
lot of
typical.
reactions.
Yeah, but your reactions are just giving shit go again, most part. For the most part.
Blade Runner's buff by 3 and go again,
But Blade Runner buffs the second one, so everything.
and then
yeah.
you have what's
Hey,
the
Ty.
dominate, push forward +3 dominate.
Okay.
So the card route.
Any of the reprise
If you defend
cards.
with one of
Do
your
you even play route though? Like in Kasai with the double hand and like having like the
You've
resource
killed me
cost.
with route in your Kasai. I think you run a one of.
Yeah,
But
I ran a
suppose
one.
you
I
probably
mean,
still
it's
do.
just good.
That
I mean,
card's very strong.
If
I mean,
you-
you could
if you
technically run
defend it-
overpower too because your second swing's free. So if you could buff it by 6 if they block,
Your second swing is not free with the new one though, right?
if you give it go again,
It can be.
if you give your first one go
no,
again,
no. It's if you've drawn a card.
drawn a card.
She just has
Right,
to
and
draw
that's
a
not
card.
going to be every turn. That's going to be like that new card that you like that just draws a card and then pumps it.
I'd run 6 of those yellows and
They run Gregorian now.
and
because they just Gregorian
Blue.
tome and then their swords have go again.
I guess. I mean, they probably could. I don't know if they want like just a no pitch, fucking no block, weird
it's
like.
yellow.
No, you can't pitch Gorganian
yeah,
Tome.
that's right,
Gorganian
that's right.
Tome doesn't have a pitch cost.
That's right. That's right.
Actually,
that's
just
right,
plays
that's
that with that card in my
Yeah.
deck today.
Yeah.
Ty, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Before we get
So,
in too deep,
Route. If you defend with one of your blue evos and a card from hand and they route it, can they return the evo to your hand?
I think it has to be a card that you've blocked with from hand.
I think.
Yeah, you can't like return an equipment to hand or something. And I know what you mean because like I played them from hand, right?
Right, because I was thinking
Teklo.
about that. If someone just
Mm-mm.
popped Construct back into my hand,
it
how
can't work
screwed
like
would I
that.
be?
I mean, I guess I don't know that.
Yeah,
but
it says target non-equipment defending
Oh,
card.
there you go.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yep.
That would be so gross if they could just pop your evos back into your
So
hand.
so even if they do block with 2 evos in their hand, you still can't route those because they're still equipment
Yep,
cards technically.
Oh,
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
But also the new warrior action that also gets rid of an arsenal, huge.
Oh
That
my
card,
god,
that card's
dude,
amazing.
Yeah, there's some
The
crazy
attack
good
reactions in there,
arsenal disruption
amazing.
in this set.
Amazing.
The brute attack that just on attack banishes their arsenal. And then if it hits, I think it stays banished or something. We'll read that later. I wanted to touch on that card and get Cliff's opinion on that. But speaking of Evos, I guess I can get into my week in Fab. I finally broke the curse.
On Fab, and who are you going to be on for ProQuest? Might as well just roll it into everything.
Yeah. I guess like this last week has been the breakthrough week for me in my deck. I ended up cutting 12 reds. I cut every one of the red sentries. It felt like I was running
the base Evos.
Yep, the base red
sentry.
sentries that just block for 2. They have battle worn. A lot of times I'd have to take damage to get one on board, and I realized I didn't have enough blues in the deck, kind of with a lot of different hands. It'd be too red heavy, and I needed to do something, and thought, hey, let's just try cutting them. And the first 10 games, I think I went 9-1 after switching. Yeah, the results on Talishar compared to both lists, I've been looking at both lists. I went from like a 32% win rate on that first list that I had built for like a few weeks there, working with the red sentries and the blue steel souls, to almost 60%. I'm like at a 60% clip now, which is like pretty crazy for a flesh and blood deck. Yeah. And okay, mind you, it's like about 40 games. It's like a 40 game sample size this week. I played about 40 games, which is a fucking lot. My wife's been getting pissed at me. But no, she has, dude. She's been giving me the fucking the Ekans eyes, man. Used Lear. Dude, she used Lear. But yeah. I just added more blues. There's cards like Liquid Cooled Mayhem that, I mean, I don't know how I missed that card. Mechanical Strength Blue, also, how did I miss that card?
Dude, they're free.
Well, Mechanical Strength is a 3 cost,
yes,
but that's basically a 3-for-7 blue
Liquid
block
Cool
3.
Mayhem?
Like, the Liquid Cool Mayhem's a 0-for-4 at the end of the game.
Yeah,
and a lot of times, like, when you don't have your tanks, you still want to be doing something. And that card just seemed like an automatic include over the sentries. Like, I added that blue. I added Mechanical Strength I wasn't playing beforehand. I added that blue. That's like a 3-for-7 that blocks for 3. That pitches for 3.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Money, value.
What? How? Awesome. How did I miss that card? Added that to the deck. Added another scrap, a 0-cost scrap card. It's just like Scrap Compactor, but just one of the other ones. And like those 9 cards alone kind of made up for the red problem. And then, gosh, what else did I do? I think I upped my unmovable account on the deck because I want to just be sure that I'm like blocking the dominate stuff and the overpower stuff. I mean, unmovable with my armor block. Like I can basically block anything anyone ever does if it lines up, with my deck.
Yep.
And I'm just feeling very confident with the deck. The deck, I know we talked. Yeah, exactly.
It's just anything big like that. Those big attacks, you have nothing to worry about, and then you're still able to come in with a 6 mech low at the end of it. Yeah, it's
like
good.
I kind of like was thinking this week. This feels a bit like Cheyenne did for me when I kind of played the deck as a meme, just because I was bored with Fab at the time, and just built it just as a meme, and then realized while playing it like, holy fuck, there's something here, dude. Yeah. And like that's exactly what's happened with Tekla. I also built Cheyenne from the ground up, which is like fun to like try to build a deck from the ground up. I built this Tekla deck from the ground up, and it's been weeks and weeks of changes. And so it's like kind of like a sense of pride for me to like have this list that's doing so well, and I finally feel like I fucking cracked the code with it, and I have like all my matchups figured out, and like
that's good.
Yeah, I went 3-0. We played the 4th round and lost to Rick. God, that Reinar matchup for me is, dude, when I want to be blocking from hand and he intimidates, 3-4 times a fucking turn. He actually Blood Rush Bellowed me 3 turns in a row. He played all 3 Blood Rushes,
you want to
all
talk
3
about
turns.
Intimidating?
And
I hate it.
The thing about going down in Evos, because I cut like all 12 of those Evos. And so now I only have 12 Evos in the deck. I have 12 blue Evos. There are, like, if you don't see one the first 2 turns, you really have to kind of make up for that because you kind of have to still establish them as fast as you can. So when you see them, you're prioritizing them a little more. I'm running less cards, though, whereas before I would, like, run around 70 into each matchup, really trying to fatigue. Now I'm running closer to 60, but I'm turbo tanking. I'm trying to make my Evo suit as fast as I can and 9 overpower you as fast as I can. Because once those 9 overpowers turn on, it's
disgusting. It's huge.
That math just isn't, like, Fab math,
It's better than most. It's better intimidate, like Reinar.
It's like They're
whatever
like
it's called, Alpha Rampage.
it feels like Icelander, where like you're doing mostly everything with your hand on their turn, like whereas you're blocking with Teklo, but then on your turn you're kind of doing one thing. And like when you would swing with a Findle's Fighting Spirit with Icelander, it felt really good. You're getting a lot of value. You swing for 8, with Wounded Bull, or you swing for 7, gain a life. So like the value game with Icelander feels very good, and this just feels like that but better when your tanks are turned on. You just had to do some work to get there.
I mean, we did. I do want to say we did make our prediction that Teklo was going to be the best at our first speculation.
It's just taken me some time to get there.
And
we thought the deck was trash, and my deck was trash for a while, for a long time.
I mean, it wasn't.
I don't feel like it's trash. I feel like it's actually cracked. Like,
which is good, because like I feel like everybody knows the max game plan, like you were saying, Cliff. Like everybody knows that. Everybody knows what Dash is pretty much doing, because she's just trying to surprise you with boom grenades off the top, and it's like potentially hitting a max V in a turn. And then, I think Teklo's just the unknown. Nobody knows.
I'm hoping I'm hoping a lot of players reach across the table and read my cards. That's what I'm hoping, because part of playing an obscure deck like this that you've built yourself, or like have some plan, like part of it is like the unknown, like you said, is players just not knowing what you're trying to do, not knowing that, when I get to Singularity, it's attack twice for 6, 2 discard on hits, and then I go drop to 5. And if I have an arsenal, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
That's probably 2 tanks plus another Teklo attack.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
996. Like,
it's good.
Most decks can't come back from that. Yeah.
It felt
Oh, well, I'll get in. Yeah, you and I played.
Yeah.
And yeah, you attacked with your construct all 5 times, right?
All 8 times. You survived.
8 times.
You survived all of the construct.
He attacked me 8 times with this construct.
And that is including all the attacks in front of that.
Wow.
Right.
Holy shit.
I think by the time Ty started swinging back, I hadn't taken any damage. I was at 40, and Ty was probably at 9.
I was
And
under
then
10. Yep.
When he fatigued me, I didn't have anything left in the deck. I was down to, I think, 12, and that was only a couple of turns. So, because the tanks came on, and he was getting the tanks with overpower, and I'm just like, God, I just got to eat this and try to throw back. But at that point, I was in all the blues I pitch early off. The mech, throw the megs first. So I'm throwing like at blue throttles and blue rev ups.
Yep.
And Ty's just like, nom nom.
Yeah. I played an Azalea 2 in our armory, and I think that matchup is pretty like solid for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Even through like the dominate and
I have
everything?
all the armor for it. Yep. I have all the
Only
D-Reacts
thing you
for
gotta
it.
watch out
Play
for is drill
unmovables.
shot.
I actually have Warmongers. That was a blue I added. Don't know why that wasn't in my deck.
It's just a good blue. You're
Just-
not boosting.
Well,
It doesn't even matter.
No. It's just a good blue that I can just block with my whole hand, play 1 card from hand for my action, and then
that
take
shuts
tempo
Azalea
from
down.
100%. I don't know how I missed playing that card, but against Azalea, I can establish armor pretty well. I have enough D-Reacts too.
Yep.
A lot of their on-hits I just don't care about either. Red in the
Red in the
Ledger
Ledger.
does nothing against me. I
Nope.
still play 1 Evo per turn anyways, or 1 tank per turn most times. But also played a Guardian, played Wes. I don't think I've ever felt, with this new build, I've never felt worried against the Bravo. I sit down against Bravo, I'm like, let's go. I'm like, you're not going to do anything. I haven't seen. You're not going to do
block
anything. I
better than
haven't,
Yep.
no pummel that you have. Like, I'm not going to be ready for it. Like, I'll be ready for it all. And, but in Wes's game, I actually didn't establish an Evo for 3 straight turns. So that was like 12 cards off the top of my deck were no Evos. And that is one problem that I do have with cutting the red sentries, is there are games, even in Rick's game, where I think the first 2 or 3 turns I saw 0 Evos, and it's like, your deck just can not really function with you. Most times you see turn 1, you play it, or if you're going second, if they have a weak turn 1, you just play it at instant speed, so you're still establishing it on their turn. You draw up, play a second one, you're already like halfway there by turn 0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in those games, like in Wes and I's game, I just had to make up for a bunch of dominate at the beginning, and then he kind of lost. He had a few turns where he's just throwing an Othos at me for 4 or 6, and those are the perfect turns for me to like swing tempo and stuff.
Yep.
And once I had my Singularity transformed, I kind of showed him the power of that, and that was it's fun. It's fun to show people for the first time what Singularity can do. You know what I mean? That card is just
Singularity
breaks the game.
is good.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you get, what is it, 21 life, or is it? Yeah, 21.
6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. Yep.
Insane.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And
we figured out too with if I play one fabricate at the right moment, this is like maximum blocks. I think I counted like 37 extra life through armor and one fabricate. Yeah, because you get 3 times 4 the first round of blocking, right? If we're talking all pieces,
that's 12.
so that's 12, and then you get another 2 a piece when you're blocking a second time with them, right? So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's 20. And then if I fabricate when they're at 2 counters, that lets them block an extra 2 without triggering the temper, right? Because they go up to 4 block, temper happens, they lose 1. So then they'll actually sit at the 3 counters. That's what Wes was asking. He came up to the table and he's like, he pointed at my Steel Souls and he's like, how does that work? Because they had 3 counters on it.
Yep.
And when you fabricate, it gets around, it lets you block those extra 2 damage basically. So that's another 8 damage, right? After the 20.
There's a reason he got the Demi Hero.
I
it's
do want
good.
to ask, does the Demi Hero count as an item?
No.
It like
No.
construct? Okay.
No.
Because I was going to
Nope,
say,
you can't steal my hero.
Not steal.
No,
Imagine, imagine a
Kyloria,
brute
get the fuck
just
out of here.
arg
Smashing my hero. When I played against Dylan Dietz, he saved up a double shred turn against me, and he double red shredded my block on Teklo and thought he would destroy it, and I just
Battle worn.
It just turned over the card and was like, no, it has battle worn, you know. And but he was playing Azuri, and that is one matchup that is a little scary for me. They have the shreds, so it means really I can't block a single assassin card with my Steel Souls. And now that I cut my sentries that have battle worn that don't care about shred, now it's like even more of a fine line with that matchup that I have to like walk.
You just have to wait and
I have to
play
block
more
their
Evos.
generics
Yep.
with my Steel Souls, because when I block their E-Strikes and their Nimble Strikes and their Ravenouses, I know Azuri runs Ravenous. I can block those with Steel Souls.
It's nice because you can like maximize
can't shred them.
your Evo, like putting on top of another Evo, and when you do that, it's just giving you an extra benefit.
And I will do
turn,
that.
and it's
They'll
just
be like
beautiful.
maxed out with counters, and I'll just like replenish it sometimes.
Yep.
Like just.
But you get the ability still because
Nope.
No, it
doesn't
has to be a
change
different name.
So you're not worried about any of like the shatters or the buckles or anything like that out
Yeah,
there?
of course I am. Of course I am. That shit sucks.
Buckle is a card.
The thing that I've found though, a lot of times if someone destroys an armor piece, I still have the ability to fatigue most decks. Where the plan just changes at that point, you know. My singularity is now just a red block 3.
level,
you know
level,
what I mean?
level. You just
Yep.
keep throwing leveler every single turn.
Yep.
Just trying to.
Yep. And
Well, that's what I don't know what buckle does, but shatter just kills you, doesn't it?
I think
You
Shatter.
just destroy a defending equipment that has a counter.
So yeah, if that's
against the warrior,
I was scared as Dory, not
against
anymore.
so how many warriors are playing Shatter is the question.
I can answer that right now.
Can't see me, but I'm
Any
raising my
defensive
hand.
Dory is gonna be running
The
Shatter.
Decimator Axe Story is playing Shatter
It
for
hits
sure.
Shatter.
100%.
Decimator X Bolt.
I just have to make sure it doesn't hit. Doesn't it have to hit for it?
It does have to hit.
It does,
It
but
does have to hit.
but if you felling swing into a decimator great axe red, that's 7
So
plus 4.
I guess
That's 11.
That'll be something I have to watch out for. There are some things
Yeah.
in each matchup, like the
Shatter's
Arachne
a
matchup.
Good card.
Cards or
Ty.
decks that like destroy Arsenal.
Tumulti also
Yep.
just kills you.
Yep.
Eh.
Breaking Point kills you.
Yeah. Crazy.
there's
no,
a
Breaking
couple of-
Point.
no.
Breaking Point doesn't.
No.
Breaking Point's just like destroy Arsenal.
No,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. It is. It is.
Is that
And are we sure Tumulti
Are
destroys
you
just
thinking,
any
are you
item?
thinking of melting
Any equipment.
Point?
You're an
Any
equipment.
equipment.
You're an equipment.
With
Ben,
a-
are you thinking of melting point?
Does it have to have like a
No,
like,
Melting Point doesn't destroy
I
him.
don't know.
That's target one-handed.
Because if a single Tumulti, a one card I die, one card I lose. That
I
my draw my matchup got even worse. That's not a matchup I actually enjoy either.
I'm pretty sure her Tumulti, if she runs it and throws it at you, I'm pretty sure it just nukes you. Because that's what the Dromai did to me today, the turn before I got the construct. He just blew up my Teklo. It's like, whoa.
Dude,
Nice.
that sucks. But yeah, we finally fucking got over the 2-2 mark and won the Cold Foil Banksy with Teklo this week, so that was fucking dope.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
man,
nice.
I haven't been this excited about a deck in a long time.
So Tumulti can only kill you at the end of the game. If you have only like 2
If it has
counters.
0, yeah.
Yeah. If it has 0.
Oh, that makes more sense.
So, wait.
If I have 0 defense.
So in that matchup, Dromai would just hold Tomotai literally until the end of the game.
And I would just never block and give him the opportunity.
Whenever
When he's at
Tomotai
like two,
attacks a
when he's
hero,
at 2 left or
reveal the
something,
top.
or 1
True.
left, I would just.
Well, I don't know if it'd be that low. Dromai is
gives
really
it
good
a
at blocking.
It gives it a
yeah,
neg
yeah,
1,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
if it's 0, it destroys it.
Yeah.
So then if I'm sitting at 2, then I'm fine.
Dromai is a very good
2
blocker
blocks
as
left.
well.
I mean, yeah.
Like a very good blocker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there are some decks I definitely don't want to see. Kano is one of them. I did fatigue a Kano on Talishar this week. That felt good.
What?
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
How?
Played all 3 sigils. Played all 3 Oasis respites in that game. Pretty much saved 2 blues every turn. Tried to on my main and their turn. And had AB5. So that just got
Checks
there.
out.
Yeah, that got there. I built the deck in a way where I can cut enough reds and add enough blues with the Rusted Relics and even Warmongers just because it's a blue now. That's another deck that goes into another card that goes into one of my bad matchups. And it just ups the blue count. And I mean, dude, I don't know. It's coming around, man. I'm excited. There's a few changes probably left that I need to make, but as of right now, it's
you're gonna be a Teklo man for.
It'd be awesome if I could convince some of you guys at the shop to just fucking roll one of these tournaments over with the deck list.
I still need to get the rest of the Evos.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could.
Yeah.
I got
I'm
the one Singularity. So
I've decided that I'm foiling mine out, so I have a bunch of non-foils.
Do you have the Marvel Singularity?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I riffle shuffle that bitch.
Is it legendary?
Just breaks.
It makes
just,
me so mad.
Yeah.
I heard you riffle shuffle at
Just
the
breaks
shop,
Cliff's
and
heart.
it literally tore my head from.
He's like, don't you have Singularity in there?
I was in the middle of thinking about something or doing or talking, and I heard the from where Ty was sitting. I just snap over, like, don't you have Singularity in that? He's like, yeah, and then he does it again. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, man, they're cards. They're meant to be played.
Yep.
That's true.
Bailey, how'd your week in Fab go?
Good answer.
Once again, lived up to the name. Yeah, it was an O2 drop weekend for me. Only because I had to work. I mean, I was O2 either way, but
You were still O2.
yeah,
That holds true.
I only dropped because I had to run to work. But no, usually at the shop, if I'm O2, I don't drop. I still play O3.
Yeah.
Get my pity pack at the end. But no, my first game was into. I think my first game was into Wes. I remember playing a Bravo. Destroyed me. I just could not get anything going. I was on Vincent this weekend again. And I could not find like my rune gates. He buckled my grasp really early on, which was fucking brutal.
Yeah, that's a card I was
That
scared of
sucks.
against Wesley.
Buckle?
Yeah,
It
Buckle.
was-
Oh, after he found it to counteract me on Max, because I'd just been dominating him in Blitz Max with that construct. And so he was looking for an answer. And then he found Buckle, and surprise, surprise, my win rate just plummeted like straight into the ground.
Yeah, you don't realize how much you rely on grasps for your like 2-cost rune gate cards until it's gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Like, what, I gotta wait and like hope a Mauve Skies hits or like take a turn off and take 1 blood debt to like get off my 2-cost rune gate? No, shot. And I think I had a widespread annihilation in my banish at the time too, which is 4. And it was like, what do I do? Like, do I just not attack for 4 turns to clear this out and like hope I can banish a non-blood deck card each turn? Like, I ended up hitting a couple of my what's the D-react?
The rune chant one?
Yeah, the rune chant.
You make a rune chant when it blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit a
Is it
couple-
just reduce the rune chant?
Yeah,
Reduce
reduce
the
the
rune
rune
chant.
chant.
That's
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
yep.
Ended up hitting a couple of those that helped out there. With, I mean, any rune blade where you're making rune chants and stuff like that reduces so good.
Yeah. It
It's
seems like
so
really solid in
Do you
that
use
set.
the Runeblade defense reaction from Toa? The one where it deals arcane damage if you
Sigil
block with
Suffering?
it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, Sigil Suffering's the one.
Sigils from Toa.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I thought that's the... No, that's incantation.
No, I don't use that one. No, I only run, I think 12 D reacts in the only. 12 is still no, it's 9. So I got my 3 sinks just to kind of help me filter the hands. 'Cause it really sucks to get stuck with a hand of all attacks or all non-attacks as a Rune Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got my reduces and then the sigils. And the sigils are great defending like an end of chain attack or something like that. Or I mean, it throws them off of like a pummel or something if they don't pay. No, sigil's great.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually since yesterday made a couple of changes to the deck, kind of tweaking it. I think that's what I'm going to be on for PQs this season. It's, I mean, kind of like your Teklo. That's the one I've been crafting and working on, and it's been getting somewhere. I ended up cutting Oblivion in the newest iteration, just because it's so unreliable. And I mean,
you need a lot of things to like right to happen. You know?
And I mean, you go into like a Bravo or any of like especially with brutes now, they take 1 turn to kill it, and it's like, great, I did all of that setup.
How much health does it have?
6.
Okay, everything's 6 on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
got the 666
right
stat
in the,
line.
Yeah. So right in the kill range for like brutes, guardians, illusionists, any of that, which is just brutal. I think you killed mine like the turn after I got it out or something like that. And
No, I didn't swing at it. I just killed you.
yeah, well, yeah.
That worked.
Yeah, no, that works. I see, or they do that. Like it feels like a whole lot of setup for not enough payoff. So still looking at like what's going in its place. I ended up cutting a couple of other cards too that were kind of helping me get to that. So we'll see where it goes from here. I cut a lot of not a lot of, but I cut more of the like 3-cost RuneGate cards. Because I ended up just getting stuck with a lot of those and banished.
I feel like you probably have to build your deck a little differently if you're going with like the 3-cost plan a little more. You know? Versus like the kind of clean like 2-cost. You make the one and then the rune chant.
Is a little bit more aggressive. Because once you're on the back foot with Vincent, it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks. That starter turn trigger not being optional is brutal once you have to start blocking with more than like 2 cards.
Or God forbid someone's like making you discard with a pummel or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Codex.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, and then it's like, great. Like I literally, I can't even banish anything to get a rune chant. Like I'm not getting any value whatsoever on my turn. So kind of trying to come out of the gate swinging a little bit more. Still got like most of the defensive package just to help on those off turns, because she will have off turns still. So at least being able to like save myself through those, and then just hitting a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Bailey,
still running all the wide spreads.
You want to know what's crazy?
What's it?
We've been to so many armories together, and I have yet to play your Vincent.
Really?
You and I have not played each other for like months.
I feel like you guys never play each other.
Bailey and I never. I mean, unless
Ever,
him and I get
ever.
get to each other at a like at each other's house or something.
Yeah.
That's the only time Bailey and I actually ever
It
play.
doesn't make sense, dude.
It's wild.
Jim
And then
hates
every
us.
time I'm back, I play Bailey.
So you're like talking about your Vincent, and I'm like, I just want to play you on Vincent. I'm like, come on, I have yet to actually play you.
You're like
'cause
over there listening, like,
both-
oh yeah,
both
whoa.
of you two have played him. I have not.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But so what are you thinking for PT season?
Vincent.
You are going to stick
I
with
think
Vincent?
I think I'm gonna start out on her.
Or
Okay.
RTN season, my bad.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I've been feeling it lately. Still a lot of work that has to go into it, but like I feel like I'm cracking the code.
Gotcha.
It's getting there. She takes a lot more work than the other Rune Blades, though.
She is.
Yeah, it seems like you'd be left with kind of a finicky little deck list. You
Yeah.
know? Like it's got to be
Like you
very.
have to get it exactly right. I mean,
It's hard with the weapon too. Like
Yeah.
the flail,
Well,
if you run the flail, you gotta lose a life, but
So
that
I've
pops
been-
your rune
I've been
chance.
thinking about cutting flail too for the scepter. Because the scepter is just an action. It's not an
Yep.
attack.
Yep.
It's
And
just
you get a rune chance.
yeah. It's 2
If it
cost,
hits.
which doesn't synergize super well with the grasp. But most of the time, if you're using the flail, you're not making a rune chant with grasp anyways. And it kind of just helps me on those turns where I'm waiting to get off like the 3 or the 4 cost widespread, like the annihilation or the destruction.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just helps get those like a turn earlier, or 2 if you're looking at annihilation.
Gotcha.
Which really helps. You can kind of sit back, play it defensive a little bit.
So which scythe are you looking at?
What is it? The Scepter of Pain?
The Scepter of Pain,
Yeah.
not the Scythe.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what's the effect of the Scepter of Pain?
You pay 2, and if it deals 2,
one arcane.
1 or 2,
1.
1.
And if it deals damage, it makes a rune chant.
Okay, yeah.
So-
that,
So you're either, I mean, it's doing one of 2 things. You're either stripping a card from their hand for them to block all of 1 arcane, or you're getting your rune chant.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that seems like it would synergize amazingly with the Rune Gate build.
Yeah, I'm thinking about sideboarding, like Reaping Blade or the Scythe, just for those like fatigue-y kind of matchups.
Mm-hmm. Reaping Blade just says they
I-
can't gain life
yeah.
ever,
What about
right?
what about Nebula Blade?
No,
No, he just means like the gain,
No.
anti-gain life. Like
Yeah.
that's
True.
so good.
True.
No, I think Reaping
Especially
Blade
with there's a
still-
lot of people right now running the red sigils of Solus. So if you
Yeah.
can just swing that at them,
I
they
think
don't get
Reaping
their
Blade you still have to
sigils.
be lower life. Yeah, if a hero has more life than any other hero, they can't gain life, which doesn't impact me a whole lot. I mean, there's I forget what it's called.
You
It's
do
one of
have
the-
some gain life
It's
though.
one of the 2 cost
Yeah.
Renegade cards where you can gain life.
That is kind of weird.
But-
That'd be shitty if like you had the sword and then like you
Which
went
is-
to gain some life and like oh shit,
Which
Yeah,
is why
I can't.
Yep.
My own sword.
Yeah. No, which is why I'm thinking about running the Scythe over it. Because with the cuts and everything, really kind of a similar journey to your Teklo deck. I'm running it a lot more blue heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Scythe is 3 for 3. When you attack with it, you deal 1 arcane damage to them. And then if they take any damage from it, they can't gain life during their action phase. So it's just a little more consistent. It doesn't
Yeah.
interrupt my game plan and me gaining life off of anything. So that helps
Cool.
too.
So you thinking Vincent for RTNs, huh?
Yeah.
Cliff, you Riptide thing? That's,
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of testing to do
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I need to get everything sorted again. But
it's coming up a couple weeks, man. It's in
I-
February.
I've
Yeah.
already got
That's the worst
ideas.
part. I'm on a trip in February for part of it.
Oh,
That's
really?
Mexico.
Are you gonna have to miss some?
I might have to miss one.
I'm not gonna
weekend.
lie though.
I'm gonna try to make them all.
I've been thinking a little bit about Teklo.
Have
Oh,
you?
really?
If you ever want the list, it's open to anyone. I've always been
It's-
super open with my deck lists. You know,
Yeah.
I've never been one to like, shy away from
I'm
sharing
pretty sure
it.
I told you to look at Teklo a while ago, Bailey. Thinking
I think
like
you
it.
did, and I don't know. He just kind of fits into my more like defensive, like slow gameplay. Not like slow game or like slow play, but like really doing what you can to like slow the game down and control it.
Although I do think your Decimator Axe Bolton does have some. I like it. I'm gonna be honest.
It feels like such a meme deck. It's only up in Blitz right now. I don't really have plans to take it to CC. I don't think it would perform as well in CC.
I know people are doing it. That
Yeah.
that Decimator axe is
Disgusting. Thing's good.
It's around,
it's-
but
I-
look
I
at
think
the
strat.
last UPF game, Bailey.
I
Pretty
think
much
in
everyone was
my-
decked.
Yeah, we should have a UPF game that we just got done finishing before we recorded.
Yeah,
Up on the YouTube here pretty soon, and you
I don't
can watch some.
know 100% when that'll be up. Yeah, I mean we literally just finished recording it.
Yep.
Which is I think it's the first time most of us have played UPF, if not all of us too.
I
Played
I
it
went
like
to,
twice.
we played it once here.
played
a
UPF.
while
I
ago.
played
Yeah.
UPF in a 3-headed monster type tournament in Mankato.
Oh,
Early on. Yeah, this was right when UPF was like announced and they gave us that as a format. We played Blitz. We played 3 rounds of Blitz, 3 rounds of CC, one game of UPF.
Oof.
So it was like a 3. It was very cool. Very,
and then I'm
very
also running Invert Existence now.
Ooh, yeah,
on the
yeah,
Vincent
you were
list.
saying that.
I almost forgot about that, but it seems like a pretty solid like end game kind of finisher.
Yeah.
But speaking
Sorry,
of
I
you,
didn't
no,
mean
you're
to
fine.
go
You're
back to
fine, man.
that.
You're fine. Speaking of UPF, you guys want to get into some of these cards? We have we were talking before we recorded if we wanted to do like a whole set review, and we kind of came to the conclusion that we've gone over a lot of these cards already. So if we went card for card and evaluated them and ranked them, I know a lot of people do that. But we kind of feel like we would just be talking about stuff we've already talked about. So we're going to go through it still, though, maybe go class by class, kind of talk a little bit about the implications they have in CC and in Limited, some of the most impactful cards of each class, and just kind of talk about it that way. And so it'll still kind of technically be a set review. We just won't be doing it card by card.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this freaking Fable, though, huh, guys? This first, we were right. We
said
said
our
it.
first landmark since Tails.
We said it was going to be I don't know if we said it was going to be definitively, but we predicted that it would be
It was definitely our theory.
the deathmatch. Let's read this thing. It is a 0-cost generic action landmark called Deathmatch Arena. It is legendary. You may only have one in your deck. It has Go Again. Heroes can attack any opposing hero. Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Especially coming from this game we just played. We played a UPF game like Josh was saying, and I really wanted to attack Cliff.
I really wanted that tie.
I wanted at him, and I couldn't attack him. This
The
card
feeling-
allows you to
feeling
do
was
that.
The feeling was so mutual.
In UPF, if you don't know and are unfamiliar with that format, like I know a lot of people are, you can only attack the player to your left and right. You cannot attack the player across from you.
Let me tell you, I made enemies right away, and it was real rough.
Well, you're playing KO. I mean, what are you doing?
Having fun, okay?
I only read half of this card. Let me finish reading the rest of this card. It says heroes can attack any opposing hero. Very cool. Then it also says when a hero deals lethal damage to another hero, they create gold tokens equal to the number of heroes who started this game. So anytime you kill shot someone, you're getting 4 heroes.
That's
Very cool thematically. I mean, the idea that you're in the arena, there's 4 of you, you take someone out, here's some money for your work.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the Spartacus show from HBO years ago? God, this very, very much reminds me of that show. And
So my question is, do you think this deathmatch arena is actually going to be able to be used in the UPF type format that they came out with?
Oh, for
the,
sure.
Oh yeah.
no,
absolutely.
this will be in the expansion slot
slot?
where you can't use.
Which sucks.
You
This
know how
would be
like when you pull
super
legendaries
cool.
and sealed and stuff now, you can't use them like back in the day.
What if they change it though for the UPF type thing?
I doubt it.
That's depressing.
That sucks.
That's really depressing.
That
We
would
have to
be
figure out like when and how we do that. The UPF format that we were talking about, because
Yeah.
it's like a draft, right? Then you
Yep.
UPF and then you do a 1-on-1.
And that's what I'm saying. Why would this not be viable in that? It would be
It
so
depends
much
on
fun.
it depends on how the packs are formatted and if it's in the expansion slot.
Let-
Again,
let-
it
Kasai go burr.
Will be.
Yeah.
I think all of the legendaries and fables
I think so, too.
now are going to be in that expansion slot.
Tough, which is tough. But I think.
what do you
this
guys like
is-
think about this card? I think it's bold of LSS to print a UPF Fable. I mean, it's legitimately unplayable in any constructed formats. But like part of me wanted to kind of hate this card or hate on it, but I also like kind of secretly love this card, I think, a little bit.
Hold on. What if we're playing PVE when they come out with PVE?
Mhm.
Can you kill shot your own teammate if they're about to die by the PVE player and then just gain the 4 tokens and potentially gain value off
Damn,
it?
you want to backstab your friends?
Depends on if they're considered like an opposing hero. If it says an opposing hero, so
PVE could be labeled as like your
Co-op, you're
ally.
not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not opposing
this
each
might
other.
Not work.
Why not? Let
in
me
that
backstab
way.
somebody for 4 gold. Come on, let me do it.
self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, either I die by the guy in front of me, or I benefit my team here. What do I choose?
No, I kind of just dig this card.
I like the landmark itself. It looks really cool. The
art
one
is,
that was
is
spoiled,
incredible.
the cold foil,
That cold foil was just brilliant.
gorgeous.
I will say, there's a lot of value in this set. So as a collector, it's gonna fucking blow to collect all of these Marvel heroes. Oh
The
my
young
god,
and
they're all gonna
old
be
versions?
a couple $100 probably each. This card, however, I'm gonna guess $40 to $50 cold foil.
I'd just for the rarity. I think
Rainbow foil is gonna be
I'd say
20,
50.
15 to 20.
I mean, I'd say 100 for the cold.
No way.
50
There's
for
no
the,
way. There's no
Dude,
chance.
Master Cog's freaking $40 rainbow foil.
Yeah, what's the cold foil?
Like 100.
And that's like barely usable, right?
Yeah.
This is unusable. No one is going to use. Like, okay,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
people will want it for UPF, right? Like, I get it. Everyone's going to want it in their deck in UPF. This actually, it's funny because they say how, like, the problem with Fables is you can't make them too powerful, right?
Nope.
And this
one is
is
powerful.
fucking so strong
Yeah.
when you talk about, like, in context of what, like, UPF is, being able to just attack
some
anyone.
guys on 2 health, but you can't attack him. You play this from Arsenal, kill that guy, get gold.
The thing
continue
is,
your
we
thing.
just aren't playing a lot of Ultimate Pit Fight. Maybe now, like, we're being pushed into that direction. Maybe now players start to get into it a little more, and then everyone actually needs one of these for their UPF deck. Because if everyone needs something for, like, their deck, that's like if everyone needs a Fable for their deck, I mean, then that's like goes against what the game kind of is trying to do with Fables. And
I think this is what LSS.
but everyone does need this.
I think this
if
is
they're
what
playing
LSS
UPF.
is doing to help push that counter. The kitchen table play for the UPF because
I agree.
you only need 40 cards because it's a blitz, and they're really trying to push the commander aspect of it. So this is also drawing the people that want to play the kitchen table version to potentially wanting to pull this card or buy this card. On the secondary
I will
market.
say, our like Ultimate Pit Fight game, that was fun. That felt good.
Yes.
There was a
It
lot of
felt
interaction.
very,
with
like,
everyone
It
else.
was fun.
Like, it flowed very well.
It was a lot better than like I remembered. I've only played a handful, like I said, one time actually at a tournament, and then a few times against. I know I played against Dylan, one of our shop locals, and Tanner. But that went a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Like Bailey said, it just kind of flowed. The turn cycles are weird, where you have to like sit there with like 2 cards in hand and hope no one attacks you, kind of sometimes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which
I'm no
also,
threat. Please leave me alone.
Yeah. But that's like
also
That's
is
like part of
where
it. That's where the
deathmatch
politicking
arena would
comes
be
in.
very strong.
Yep. This card seems like an auto include in any Ultimate Pit Fight deck, and if Ultimate Pit Fight becomes popular, this card is just going, go through the roof in price.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's very thematic for the set. The fact that they're coming out with like the UPF play, I think it's just really pushing that new kitchen table player.
We're gonna have to play it.
We're
at
gonna
our
have
shop.
To, yeah.
That was too much fun not to get everyone in the shop into it.
And that's just with like random heroes. That's not even like drafting your decks for UPF, which is completely different.
no,
gameplay.
I don't think it's meant to be drafted.
Or is it sealed?
No. You just bring a blitz deck.
I
Like
think that's
UPF is
how it's
always
supposed to
like
be.
yes, I know like the form you're talking about, this new thing
The
they're
new
doing.
format.
Yeah, I think you draft that. But like I think UPF is I think it's supposed to be played with 5. 5 is the most optimal players in UPF, they say. Yeah, you do draft for the in-store,
In-store
thing that
version.
we need to fucking figure out what that's called.
Yeah. UPF draft.
Yeah, I guess UPF draft, I suppose, or heavy hitters UPF. I don't know.
Well, why don't we get into our speculations here? So, should we start with Brute then? Like, what we think they're going to be more viable in?
Yeah, I think Reinhardt's going to be great in sealed and draft. Depends a little bit more on pool, obviously, in the sealed format. He also is just getting a great buff in CC. He's going to be one of the heroes, I think, of the 6 that are or is good in both formats. I think some of them, like maybe Betsy, might be a little, or sorry, not Betsy, Victor, might be a little worse in one of them.
Yeah.
But
I actually think Betsy will be very strong in
I do
seal their draft.
I do too.
Anytime you
Limited,
have,
she's going to be very good.
dominate or overpower printed on your hero,
It's gonna be good.
that's a huge amount of like not disruption, but like I guess in a way it is
She's
kind of
just forcing
disruption,
damage, especially if she's wagering. Hey, if this hits, I get a vigor or might token.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think KO is more of a...
I think he's still going to be good in sealed or
KO is going to be
draft
so
because
good in
we're really wagering.
Which of the two would you rather be in sealed? Or sorry, we keep saying sealed and draft. Limited. That just covers both.
limited format.
In limited, would you rather be like Reinar or KO? KO just seems like he's fixing the consistency issues of Brute.
I would rather be KO.
Yeah.
In sealed
Really?
format than
100%. Because,
Really?
I mean, let's say somebody's like wagering, or not wagering.
You don't have like any Intimidate, though.
clashing against
Intimidate
you.
is so strong.
Yeah, but that's only when you're discarding.
limited.
How many cards actually?
Well, did you see like all the... We got Wild Ride reprint, Pack
Yeah.
Call,
Yeah.
fucking...
We've got all the ones that instant discard to do
or
things.
Pack
but
Hunt, is that what it's...
Wild Ride doesn't really.
Doesn't that discard?
No, it says when this attacks, draw a card, then discard a random
Yeah.
card. So I mean,
Yeah, you're intimidating with that.
yeah, you got to hit it though.
Right. No, of course. I'm just saying Reinar has a ton of intimidate potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that
With the
versus
beat chest
KO.
mechanic,
I'm saying
yeah,
versus
yeah.
KO. KO's not going to have as much. And when he does discard stuff, it'll be more for tokens and shit. He's not intimidating anyone. You know,
True.
his discarding won't be evasive like Reinar. Reinar is like a true evasive.
Well, I mean, I guess he's getting the might token every time you.
Right,
or the first
but
time
that's not
you
a.
discard.
He's still like your opponent is able to block him how they will. If
Yeah.
they want to block KO, they get to block KO. They don't get to block Reinar the way they want. Is the difference.
I just really like the clash mechanic and that you're getting the buff on everything that you're.
Yeah, that's
you
pretty
know,
fucking cool.
That's the
I
one
love that.
thing.
There's actually a card in Brute I wanted to talk to Cliff about.
Which one?
We didn't talk about this one. It's called Cast Bones. Also, the art on this thing is super like shaman vibes.
Yeah, it is.
It is a 0 cost Brute action, blocks for 3. Reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Create a might token for each card with 6 or more revealed this way. Put the revealed cards from the top of your deck on the top of your deck in a random order. If you control 6 or more might tokens, create an agility token as well.
Like, dude, with KO, this is disgusting. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
because all your
gross.
5 powers are 6s. So you just
Everything
okay.
is
In a
a
perfect
6.
world, you reveal 6.
this card,
You get
is
6 might tokens,
so
Cliff.
dumb.
You also get an agility token.
Yeah.
So your next turn, your first attack, it's go again plus
So
6.
in limited
For 0.
formats, this card.
This is
seems
just the
really
one
good.
card.
Where this card is
6.
terrifying is in CC, where they set it up and then they blood rush bellow you with those might tokens popping.
No, this seems definitely like a pitch stat card.
Oh yes.
If you see this early and you pitch it early, and then the next 6 cards you pitch, all have 5 or more.
And then you get back up
It's
a
just
new hand
disgusting.
because you just let that sit till your next turn. Next hand, you barraging beatdown.
Barraging beatdown.
Alpha rampage for 15.
Show no mercy. Show no mercy. Because you're forcing them to block with the one card if they intimidate twice, or 2 cards even. So they're automatically losing that, but you're still gaining the 6 damage from the might tokens.
Yep.
So you're still pushing 15 damage regardless, which I mean still is viable. But you do only get to play Show No Mercy. But I don't know, because Alpha Rampage, you still have to discard a card.
Yeah.
So you'd only get the 1 buff. So what would you prefer then in Reinar for that?
Well, no.
In CC. Like, would you prefer Barraging Beatdown? Maybe like Rolling Thunder potentially? Because that's just giving you, but you also have to roll for
might
it.
tokens, do they break on your next attack, or do
I
they
think it's
break
beginning
at the
of
start
turn.
of
Beginning of turn.
Start of turn.
So
yeah.
you'd play this at the end of a turn, and then you'd set up that next one where
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you'd have your Alpha Rampage, which is the heaviest hitting Brute attack. I mean, can you
Yeah.
imagine if someone got a Tear Limb from Limb off before that Alpha Rampage?
Well, I mean, I guess
Dude.
swing big maybe even
This
after
Berserk card, you guys heard of this fucking shit that people are doing?
that. Yeah,
Dude, Berserk?
it's
What?
disgusting. Yeah,
Same thing with
I'm just
Savage
losing to
Beatdown.
brutes left and right, man, on Talishar.
You could, with this card alone, and if you can get the discard off of something, you can make Savage Beatdown swing for 18 off
Yeah.
of just this card and that one, basically.
yeah.
And that's not including other buffs. That you can do some disgustingly big attacks with brutes.
What do you think about this next one we didn't talk about? I love the art on this one, too. It looks like Cox. Pretty sure that's Cox.
I'm sorry, what card?
It's called Send Packing.
That's Bam Bam, bro.
Oh, is it? I thought
Old
Cox
Bam
was
Bam.
Cox was like the big ogre guy.
Yeah,
Right?
But so is Bam Bam.
Are they?
Bam Bam's big. Yeah, he looks like a weirdo.
Is he the guy with the arrow in his eye?
Yeah,
Okay. Pretty sure this is Cox though.
it might be. Yeah.
Anyways, it says.
you would know Cox better than any of us.
Yeah, that is. You got that right, Bailey. 3 cost, 6 power, pitches for 2. It is a yellow card. Blocks for 3. When this attacks a hero, banish a card from their arsenal. When the chain link resolves, if this didn't hit, return the banished card to its owner's hand. So pretty fucking insane.
Yeah.
No. The way you beat Reinar, I'm very, very like.
Is you have a defense reaction in Arsenal.
Well,
Yes.
that's one of the
Yes.
ways to get
Yes.
around the intimidate,
Yeah.
right? And when you're this is an on attack, right? Yeah, when this attacks. So you're doing it before the D react step, and it just like is another insurance policy for your deck to just be like, I just don't care about anything you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you intimidate a bunch on this or on the turn you play this, and then they you're making sure this card hits and then is pumped, you're still like I don't know. It's wild. This card seems
I think we are
very strong.
We're going to see the return of, I think, Pummels in Reinar with this next set.
You think so?
I think
Oh, yeah.
so. Because we're not losing, or we're not like so focused on the inconsistency for the random discard anymore. So we have that insurance that, okay, we can have the Pummel, we can have our +5 buff on our brute attack. I pitch this to play this to discard this.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to get
I could
the
see it.
Pummel off.
The only issue though you run there is just it's not a 6 power. You're just lowering the consistency of your deck that's now trying to be more consistent, with all these new pieces. You just have to be careful. That's all. Like
Right.
with the amount of cards you're playing that aren't 6 power, I guess. Your numbers have to be real clean when you're like coming out with your ratios, and even like that what is it, cast bones? That's just an action, right? So that can kind of cost you when you're playing KO and you're super efficient and everything is a 6 power. You clash and you reveal a cast bones and you're like shit, Even though that card seems just like fucking busted at its ceiling. I don't know. It's a 0 for 6. That gives something go. That gives you an action point. Like,
Dude, the fact that just a lot of the brute buffs even are kind of disgusting that go into some of these attacks that they've come out with. So like Pack Hunt, Intimidate, right? You get your Smash Instinct.
They did give us some reprints.
So it's nice that we get these Intimidate, but like the Bonebreaker Bellow being a 1 cost, and then you got your Barraging Beatdown that goes in and intimidates. You get a double Intimidate in a turn with Bonebreaker Bellow and buffing. That gives it +9. So if you're coming in with like Pound Town, you get to create a Might token afterwards, and that's
Of course you'd pick Pound.
dude. Well, it's also got Beat Chest on it as well on the face. So if you can discard like 3 cards,
Beat their
Or not
chest
discard,
while at
but,
Pound
like-
Town, baby.
it's just, I don't know. I love this whole new Beat Chest to Intimidate and stuff like that with Reinar. It just makes him a lot more viable.
It seems a little bit like redesigned Intimidate.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it? So is it not random?
No, it's you may
No,
discard
you
it whenever you
choose,
want.
So they can force Beast Within to
No,
go
but
into the discard.
Reinar say like when you discard a random card?
No.
Oh,
When
No.
you discard
it's
a
just
6 power
Just
card.
when you
Okay.
discard a
so
card.
that it still works.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's why Bailey one time when we were playing a Reinar into Icelander, he forced me to discard a card from my hand, so I said, okay, and I discarded my Beast Within.
Mhm.
So it triggered Intimidate on him, and then I got to search
Yeah.
and get another card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Are the brutes tickling your fancy at all, Bailey?
No, I've
You've never really been a
never
brute player, right?
had any interest in brutes. I don't know. I'm not the type of player to just go in like swinging like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have.
You just gotta drop
consistency
it
to
on
my
the
game
table.
plan.
It's more of a cliff deck.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the Guardians.
Moon's wish.
Bunch of
Sun's
guys
kiss.
talking about
I do
my
want to
deck.
cover we did not get to cover the Guardian Equipment arms. That was
Yeah, I don't know if
spoiled
that was.
afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know if that was spoiled.
Yep, it wasn't spoiled yet. So we got
What are your thoughts?
Gauntlets of Iron Will. 2 defense temper. When this defends the next time an attack action would gain damage this chain link, Instead, it gains that much -1.
I love them.
I think they're beautiful.
I think they're another great option on top of Crater Fist.
Just yeah,
Like-
Crater Fist with upside, or it's just
Yeah.
better. It's just better.
a better benefit. Yeah.
Crater
it's
Fist. You know,
a different Crater. I mean, they have very different effects.
that's true. One's pumping you and one's
but-
negging them.
A 3 cost for one pump.
The
Though?
biggest reason to
Yeah.
run the
I
Crater
know.
Fist was the 2-block temper. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I have hardly ever, if ever, actually used Crater Fist for its effect. And I don't think many people have.
Nope.
It's the same reason people are running Civic Steps in Guardians right now, right? You get that consistent 2-block temper.
Yep.
Those arms do it with an upside.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing to run into, like, let's say Dory.
Yeah.
Because it's a continued chain link unless they break the chain link.
Yeah.
But, like, ninjas, beautiful. Dromai, beautiful. Any aggro deck that they're not breaking the chain, just this card is glorious and really shines because you could potentially get a full 5 points of value out of it.
Would this just negate one of the Phoenix Flames edify?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Would gain.
'Cause
I wonder if
Phoenixes
it
swing
already
for-
Oh, no.
gained it though.
It has to gain damage. So, I mean, like, Katsu with his Whelming Gust Waves.
Yeah.
You knock down the Whelming Gust Wave down to, instead of it being 4, right?
No. I think this works like, no, because I think whelming when you attack, it sees that you attacked with surging before, so then it enters and it like has the pump.
Yeah.
So, but that's before you block, so it already gained stuff. So when you block with this, it says the next time it
Yeah,
would
but
gain.
it's a combo. So when you play this, it gains +2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So it
but by
gains the 2
time
before
it's
you block.
entered the arena, it's already.
Already
Yeah, but
gained-
you throw this at a Surging Strike. So then the next time it comes in, the Whelming Gust Wave comes in for less.
But that's a different chain link.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, different chain.
different
link.
chain link. It's a different link. It's the same combat chain. It's a different link.
Okay.
This
guess
gets
you're
around
right.
like
Yeah.
reactions.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
When you're trying
You're
to
right.
pump stuff in the reactions,
You're
it's
right.
like
Yeah, fuck your pummels, Ty.
Yeah, exactly. You block something, and then the next time I try to pummel it, or Dory reacts or something and pumps it, then it will just get that -1.
So that just says to me that that is what you want to run into Azuris if you're a Guardian.
Yeah.
Because what you can do
They do a lot of pumps.
what you can do with this is you can block spiders' bites out. Because it negates them having that piercing trigger.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, because you block, and then it would trigger the piercing, and then this would already be blocking, and then you don't get the piercing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, that's viable in that turn, I guess. I don't know. This card is really weird. I just think
it's just better.
just a
Crater
better-
Fist.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like Bailey said, I've never used Crater Fist for its ability. A 3 pump or a 3 resource for a 1 pump
Mhm.
is gross. That is disgusting.
I will say I wish these were a little better.
I wish it wasn't this chain link. I would just wish it was the combat
This
chain.
is one of the weaker legendaries, I think, of the set.
Yeah.
I think the most powerful one is sitting right next to it, though.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
gold.
this fucking shield, dude. Sidebar, for my Shyana sidebar of the week. I went to build the Centauri Sellsword deck with the gold theme because all the cards, we have access to the cards now in February. So I was like, fuck it. This morning I said, let's go throw a deck together, and made some Centauri Sellswords at the end of one of my games. Cashed in the shield, did all the things, playing the flail and the shield now. Or, trying it.
Yep.
And went to attack with my sellsword and realized I cannot attack with my sellsword unless I attack with a weapon. I don't have access to a weapon that has Gulgan, so that plan went out the window. I just have to read the fucking card.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I am shocked we didn't get any sort of generic weapons in this set.
Mm-hmm.
All about weapons.
Mm-hmm. We did get a generic shield, though.
LSS. Well, we've had a couple though.
No,
already.
no,
No,
not
not
generics.
generic
Not
shields.
generics. So, like, basically,
Wasn't Rotten Old.
No.
Guardian.
Guardian.
Literally any deck can run a shield now.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
LSS. Please give us a
The question is,
weapon.
what does every deck that doesn't have a one-handed run if they want to run the shield? Do they just run the shield and no weapon?
Well, you can't.
Right. So there's a
I'm
good
surprised it's
chunk
not
of
like a
decks that
generic
I don't think can
dagger or
really
something. Like,
utilize it.
how have we not gotten a generic one-handed weapon yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very
Like, it's
strange. Just a normal
literally
ass
just
sword.
Talishar.
Just literally like a normal sword. Just give us like a normal sword.
You're just essentially giving
Just
like
what? 1 for 2?
you're essentially giving assassin an
Yeah,
extra
something
block.
like that.
You're essentially
No-
giving
no
a
go
ninja
again,
an
you
extra
know.
block, a warrior an extra block. I mean, warrior already has a better offhand, essentially, but like still.
No, I think this shield though. In terms of heroes, let's maybe back up and just kind of talk about these heroes. Betsy, you know, I think she'll be good in limited with the overpowers similar to intimidate. Or not intimidate. It's similar to like it's evasive. It's got the same effect like intimidate, where you're not letting your opponent do the things they want to do. Right.
Yeah.
You're leaking damage, and in her case, probably some big damage. But I don't know how like viable she'll be in CC.
Yeah.
I'm leaning less so.
I think once you get to constructed, Victor kind of stands out.
It seems Victor's going to be the option in CC, and I also think he's probably the worst hero of the 6 in limited.
Who,
Yeah.
Victor?
I do think that unless you have like a really good pool, maybe
Which one do
he's
you
kind
think's
of
worse?
He needs more specific things.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe he needs like a better pool for him to like really function and shine, but I don't know. His ability. Also, you need to get lucky and pull that hammer if you're going to really like use
Leverage that
him.
ability,
Yeah, exactly. That
is
hammer's
the
a
issue,
rare, so
but
good luck.
He still has access to all the Guardian staples. Any deck that has access to those Terrace Hunters.
No, yeah.
We're talking C.
In CC, we think he's going to be cracked.
Okay.
In limited,
No.
In limited,
It's gonna be
maybe not so much.
weird.
You're probably going to want to go Betsy.
I still think that he'll be better than Olympia. And I know that there was... I heard talk that there was one of the early drafts. The top 8 ended up being like 5 Olympias.
wow,
But
that's crazy.
I still think Olympia, out of all of them, just doesn't have that.
I think a lot of the community has that sense, or that sentiment, I'll say, about him. But yeah, Victor and Betsy, like they get to play Guardian cards, man. And historically, Guardians are great in limited. So like they'll probably both be fine in limited. CC, however, I think Victor's gonna pull ahead of Betsy.
CC Victor is going to be so much better than Betsy.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
Betsy is very limited to cards from her set due to her ability.
Yeah.
Victor can just be like, all right, my hammers mill you, so I'm just going to do all the crush effects that cause you to discard. And I'm just going to slowly bleed you dry.
Did you guys see all the blocks you were giving me shit for last week that weren't in the set? And now we have a lot of blocks in the set,
Yeah,
apparently.
we do.
It's gonna-
Yeah, we
I actually
do.
want to read this one. This fucking card seems very good. Pitches for... It's a red card. Trounce is the card. It is a Guardian block for 3 only. When this defends clash with the attacking hero, put the revealed cards on the bottom of their owner's deck, then clash again. If a hero wins both clashes, they create a gold, might, and vigor token. Wow. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much you're going to be hitting on this card, because, like,
That feels bad playing into KO.
yeah, there are some decks that are going to do better than others when you're clashing, right? Like, when you're clashing against
Yeah, but I mean,
a Dory
if you
or
clash
something.
with like a traditional warrior, I mean, that's as long as you don't just absolutely whiff, that's almost a guarantee.
And I think people are going to be like, people are going to realize with clashing, like your deck building really is going to come at a cost, and you're going to have like most of the things that clash are blocks. So you're going to be running a good amount of things that just block and then trigger the clash. And then if you reveal one to a clash, well, I mean, that's part of it. That's part of finding the balance and finding the numbers in your deck. But
that's where Victor's handy.
exactly. This makes me just, this card shouts Victor.
Kind of just get to
The double clash
re-roll
is
the
cool.
clash.
And then you create the gold, right? And then you draw a card
Yeah.
from that. Like, this card seems
And
crazy
I
in Victor.
didn't realize this on my first read through of Victor, but you can either choose yourself or your opponent to re-reveal a card for the clash.
Is that right?
Yeah. So the first time each turn you would fail to win a clash. Instead, you may destroy a gold token you control. If you do, put one of the revealed cards on the bottom of its owner's deck, then clash again.
Oh,
So you just get to
wow.
pretty much sink a card right off the top of their deck.
Well, if they're beating you, you get to say nah, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that the idea?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well,
like
if you rip an action, you just get to say, nah, let's do it again. And then you get to put your top one on the bottom, and then you get to go again.
that's
Okay.
crazy, dude.
And you already know what they have. So it's like, you're just crossing your finger. But I do think Victor is going to be way better. Way, way better in CC. I don't know if he's going to be better than Bravo, though.
No, Bravo is the king right now. Crippling Crush is just, I mean,
It's too good of a card.
Crippling Crush hurts.
It's too good of a card. And Starstruck.
his
Starstruck
ability
too.
is like not
Starstruck
to
is
go
good.
overlooked either. You know, his dominate on a stick is.
If you're aggro and you're able to dominate your Rouse of the Ancients into another attack, it makes all your
I
Guardian
don't
attacks
think you
dominate.
can do. I don't think you can do Zealous. Isn't it just Guardian attacks?
You didn't say
No.
Zealous.
Rouse the Ancients isn't
Oh,
a
I'm
Guardian.
sorry.
It's a generic.
Well, no, that's
but
a generic too.
it's
I thought,
not generic.
Domin-
It's your whole turn gets dominate.
I thought it was like Guardian attacks.
No, your entire turn gets dominate.
No.
Yeah, you want me to pull
What?
it up?
I think
Not
it
every
says
attack.
Guardian
Yes, it is.
attacks
Yes, it is.
For
Nope.
which one?
For Bravo's ability.
I will read
Josh
it
is
right now.
about to school us.
Action, pay 2. Until the end of your turn, your attack action cards cost 3 or cost with 3 or greater, gain dominate, go again. So
Oh, yep.
or Zealous will not count. But
But if you have some go again shenanigans, they all gain dominate.
Yes.
That is something I have never known about Bravo.
so your Rouse the Ancients get dominate, and then you can go into like another
No,
somewhat
don't
easy
those cost 0?
No, Rouse costs 3.
Why am I thinking it costs 0?
Enlightened Strike.
I don't know why I thought that about Rouse. I
Are-
thought,
are you
Rouse is a
thinking
0
of
damage
Awakening,
unless
maybe?
you.
oh, that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But your Rouses get dominate, and then you can go into another attack that's 7 dominate again.
That's crazy.
It's good.
No.
It's different
Bravo's
tech,
king.
but-
Bravo's king.
I think Bravo will be the king of all Guardians at the moment.
I think Victor's going to be a close runner-up, though.
In the defensive aspect,
I think Victor has a very different game plan, though.
Very different game
Yep.
plan, but I think he's still going to have that annoyance factor, you know?
Yep.
Because Bravo, you got to deal with them bad crush effects. Victor, what do we think we're going to see out of Victor? He's going to slowly and inexorably grind you into dust.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
going to be his goal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Especially with that millstone. Although, dude, that thing, man. If you put a -1 counter on that thing one
If
time,
they even like block it out once,
it's
like that's a
I don't know if that's even the hammer they run. I
Mhm.
bet you that like when it or if people start to flesh that deck out, that card is just gonna get cut.
Mhm.
I'm honestly thinking after a while they might just go back to Titan's Fist. Titan's Fist and
You
his
probably
shield.
just run a Nothos. I guess you don't get to run a shield without a Nothos, but it depends on how much you're using the gold. And if you're like,
Clash.
playing Shyana, Crown of Dominion,
Mhm.
cash-ins.
I love it. Well,
I'm so excited I get to run that shield in Shyana. It
do you guys
makes me want to change the entire deck.
do you guys think these auras are actually going to be more viable in CC?
Some of these
Or do you
auras are
think
dope,
They're
yeah.
just going to be
good.
like the
The one that
Big
increases
Bop.
block. No. Well, that one's all right, I guess,
I
too.
like
but
Big Bop.
the one that increases your block on attack actions is wild to me.
Which one is that?
Let's see. Stacked in your favor. Red one says it's a 2-cost. Go again. Also, yeah, it's an aura with go again. Not a lot of auras have go again. They're a one and done type of action. But this says your attack action cards get +3 defense while defending. At the start of your turn, destroy this, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on the top of your deck. So it also fixes your hand the next turn.
Help cycle.
But if you choose, let's say you play this, you draw up, you choose the block with all 4 cards, you're getting 12 block out of this one card.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of
I
crazy.
just had a revelation.
Did you?
I did.
About what?
Betsy's ability gives +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thump.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. True.
Overpower a thump, cause 1 discard, and win your wager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how these actual like tower cards are going to be like viable too. like the Smack of Reality, and you got Colossal
They're
Bearing.
not. I mean, you have to.
I mean, are they going to be
I
viable
suppose-
and limited?
Maybe not limited.
I don't know. I don't
'Cause,
think
mean,
so.
If you run the Reds, that's buffing it to 13.
And well,
But you could also pummeling it doesn't get it all the way there.
we're talking in limited though, right?
I mean, just in both aspects
Yeah.
to the tower.
Yeah, I guess you just have to be like a pump deck or an aura deck that is pumping. You know,
Yeah.
you need pummels. You just need a way to do it.
Well,
don't know.
pummel doesn't get it there
These seem-
'cause
Yeah,
unless
most of
it's
them.
only one of them.
Most
You
of
have
them.
to do
Aren't
double
most of them
pummel. No.
Oh, okay, yeah, you do have to do a bunch of extra work. I was looking at Smack of Reality.
Red
Mhm.
pummel hits Smack of Reality.
Smack of Reality.
That's
is the
about
only
it
one.
though.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Which, I mean, Smack of Reality could potentially be okay into, like, let's say,
That's
Prism.
These are
that we
Towering
were
Titan
saying,
cards, Bailey.
But that's only...
Towering Titan
I know.
cards.
That's why I got the around the table.
We were talking to Zach about Smack Reality and the fact that it destroys all token auras they control. So whenever they do that illusionist thing that replicates an aura that they have, I guess you can destroy those easier with it.
Yeah, because one of them is the token.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it sucks that it's not like... If it was all auras,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it fucks up my rune chance.
Yeah.
Would it destroy Aether Ashwings?
No, those aren't auras.
Those are allies.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, you guys want to move on to the
Anyways.
Warriors?
Yeah.
I think Olympia, we still don't know about him. I know we have all the cards now, but I want to think he's going to be cool. It doesn't seem like it though as of right now. I think Kasai or KO are the two heroes in the lead for just power level, I guess.
Yeah.
Those decks are probably going to make the most impact out of this set, I would imagine. Or Reinar. The Brutes both look very solid. Kasai looks just very solid as well.
Mm-hmm.
Her math is just very good. You can gain, or you can do just a very consistent thing with her on a turn-to-turn basis. And the Centauri Sellswords present a really crazy end game alongside the Blood on Her Hands turn and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have like access to a lot of crazy shit at the end of the game now with her, which I think is cool. You're kind of building up all this money and cash throughout the game to pay off.
Especially if you're still
Have a
on
payoff,
the,
if you will.
Blood on Our Hands game plan too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're running that like adjacent to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think both of those payoffs are very attainable and constructed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier. Like, I don't know. I think she'll be a powerhouse.
I second.
I wanted to talk to you, Josh, about this card.
I don't see where Olympia's good in sealed though. Even they're still like they're looking through the list. Like there isn't anything that you really can actually do with the gold tokens that you win.
So,
yeah.
Like
There was supposed to be, like, everyone was kind of clamoring for like a big, huge payoff for him, you know, and he kind of can't do anything with them. But maybe you're just like supposed to like, because like the gold tokens give you one resource, or they net you one resource every time you pitch a blue to one, right? Because you're replacing the blue, and then now you have one resource left over.
yeah.
Because you pay 2, draw a card.
Yep. And if you do that at the beginning of your turn, that makes all your weapon attacks free.
Mhm.
but in Kasai.
In Kasai.
Not
Kasai.
Olympia.
Yes, not Olympia.
Yeah, looking at Olympia though, like,
Are you just supposed to like draw a fuck ton and
yeah, like you're saying, like, what are you supposed to do in the deck? You know, like, what is the idea? What is it like? What is this gold supposed to be
I
for?
suppose if you
know,
run him blue heavy,
yeah, I think he's a blue deck. If you're gonna be making golds and caring about golds, you need a lot of blues.
Yeah.
He probably cares about the agility tokens for Go again.
Yeah,
Because
I would imagine.
I think he utilizes a lot more of those attacks than his weapons. So I think he's trying to use the gold to draw cards.
There are a lot of cool like wage gold.
I'm gonna build a defensive Olympia. Make
Yeah.
a fuck ton of gold tokens, draw my entire deck, and just buff one sword.
I think we were kind of right with Olympia though, that he's going to be utilizing a lot more of like the attacks.
Yep.
Than
Yeah.
just the,
Oh yeah.
because I was talking to Bailey and Cliff. Ty, I don't know if you saw the card. So you know Overpower? It has the reprise effect where it's a cost 3 attack reaction. Gets +6 if they block with a card from hand. So Fatal Engagement is a 2 cost. Play this only if an attack action is defending this chain link. Target attack gets +5 damage.
Wow. That's a reaction.
Yes, reaction. That hits anything. So just any attack. So that includes your attack actions, your weapon attacks. So you could be going into those wagers and really utilizing those wagers with the dual class cards.
Yeah, that seems very solid, honestly.
Because of his other attack reaction up the ante. And he's going to be a very blue heavy deck like we were saying, because if you do look at his attack reaction, it is a blue.
Yeah.
I get to play that in Cheyenne.
I know.
It's another reaction I can play for Shakedown. Fuck. It was lit.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Dude, I can't wait to get my Squizzy and Floof like built and just give y'all cracked baubles in UPF now.
Is there really any other things we kind of? I guess we can go into the expansion slot. I do want to talk a little bit about these blocks, though.
I will say,
we got a lot of blocks revealed after our last pod.
We only have one Majestic in the set that are dual class cards. I mean, one in each class aspect, as in Guardian Warrior. Which in Outsiders, did we have 2?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Don't know.
But moving kind of into this block discussion.
Yeah, we've been debating this a lot over the last couple weeks.
I know Cliff said he hates blocks, or he hates the block type, and
Well, Cliff just does
you can't
hate
arsenal.
blocks.
You can't arsenal. That's right. He doesn't like the block anyway. So, you can't arsenal them, obviously, which is the difference between them and defense reactions. But I actually do like the design that they're giving every character a block for that is relevant for the character. You know, it's class specific. You look at all of the different tests of strengths and the test of mights and all the different ones in this set. You also have like Firewall, which was recently printed in Bright Lights for Teklo or Max, I should say. And it seems like we're kind of going in that direction for the block for Breakpoint, you know, whereas Sink Below, Fade Foreseen are kind of our premier D-reacts, or at least the zero cost D-reacts. All the blocks don't cost anything because you don't pay to block, so you just block for 4 from hand for nothing. So it's essentially like a 0 for 4 block. But what do you guys think over? Do you think it's a better design going forward, or should we have more like Sink Below effects in the game?
Well, it's hard to say because they did reprint Lunging Press in the set.
Yeah,
so we do have a generic attack reaction.
I did see
with
that.
no defense reactions.
Did you
So-
see the generic block?
Yeah,
Very strong. The Wage of Gold.
yeah.
No, yeah.
How cool is that? Every deck can now run that and just Wage of Gold at any time.
And it's 4.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with the blocks, is that most of them are block 3.
I don't know. I think most of them are actually 4. That's kind of what they represent is like for the most part, I guess Trounce, the card I read.
I guess, okay, even with Hardy block, though, you still are getting...
Hardy Block was the only
4
other
points
one
of
I saw.
value.
Yeah. Hardy Block was the only other one I saw that was 3. Most of them are all 4. And
I don't know, just the blocks is a concept.
it's weird.
It doesn't let you be, sneaky with it. Like, you can't arsenal it and
And that's the difference,
sneak
right?
it in. And Wall of Meat and Muscle, too. I didn't see that one.
I really do think it helps teach new players too. Like having a card that is actually just the opposite of attacking, right? I mean, D-reacts obviously are as well.
Did you guys also
But-
see the Standing Order Majestic generic?
Mm-mm.
It's a 0 cost 4 attack 3 block basic. Red Pitch, so already the stats on that card are pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Its text line is, when this attacks or defends, you may put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. If you do, this gets +2 and +2. So +2 power and +2 defense.
And it blocks for how much?
If you
3.
do that, 5.
5.
3 base.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
cash in your arsenal for a block 5.
You can
That's
also,
pretty cool.
You can
There
also
is
make
a-
it a break point.
It's a defense reaction.
I'm thinking
on a
more
card.
defensive.
That was an
I've been in a
auto-included
defensive
my
mindset with
fatigue
Teklo.
bolt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about that for Riptide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although I still think I'd rather have Down and Dirty.
Yeah, you can just block from arsenal with it or whatever if you want.
But I do like this generic. This feels extremely usable. This feels good.
This feels better than like most of the other ones that were like. I mean, obviously it's a Majestic, but like Brothers in Arms, Rally the Rear Guards that are defensive like actions that you can do things to interact with the defense. You know, it almost feels like they brought a defense reaction into the game, but didn't.
But you know what this does?
Do you
You can arsenal a block and then block this and scoop that block.
You're
out
right.
of your
Just
deck.
make this a 0 for 6. It's pretty cool. I actually really like this card.
Do you think we're seeing
the fact
more
that-
2 blocks on like other cards to kind of push blocks too?
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I
that was one of
I
the
think
things
it's
that,
just
like,
cleaner.
really
It's
stood
cleaner
out
than
to
a
me.
D-react. It's cleaner than playing a D-react. You just
Yeah.
you just
D-react?
play
Oh,
it.
absolutely
When
is.
somebody
You know.
trolls you with an unmovable, it just feels dirty.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Or you're playing Tree Frog Dash and
How
you
would
just see
that
them
feel,
drop
Cliff?
defense reaction after defense reaction, and you just want to.
God, I hate people that do that.
No, I know, but it just when I'm playing against it, it makes it so much harder. Like Tree
Plays
Frog
fatigue.
Dash. Tree Frog Dash is the worst, dude.
Should we talk about this Ripple Away card for Dylan for a sec?
Yeah, dude. Card's great.
Feels like
Love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Feels like an anti-machine
love
gun
it.
kitty card
Yep.
with the Crouching Tiger combos. We
I
have
also
a
hate, like,
avid Crouching Tiger player in our shop, Dylan, who he has played Ninja and only Katsu for about 3 years now in the game. And he's had many iterations of the deck, and one of the most recent ones was his Crouching Tiger deck. And this card just says no to his Crouching Tigers. Kind of crazy. You need it in hand, obviously, but when they go to play their predatory streak or whatever, you just discard this and basically play a counter spell.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you do as the Katsu in that? So, like, do you just
You can just
end
lose a
your
card.
turn and,
Yeah,
like-
you just lose a card. I don't know.
Well,
you get no
I
value
don't
out
know.
of it.
I don't know if it's as much as like Katsu as like Benji. I feel like you can utilize the kitty Katsu and Benji a
Yeah.
lot more than Katsu.
I agree,
but
actually.
you do get to utilize Katsu's ability to go find your combo for that, but
Just talking anecdotally.
at the same time,
from
you
our
want
own
you want
shop,
your
you know?
spring tidings technically.
Dude, speaking of Benji, I was reading through some of the Shadow Runeblade cards, and we have the absolute fucking best anti-Benji tech ever, and I have not played it once into Tanner.
Really?
And I was kicking myself. Chains of Mephitis.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Instead of drawing, they banish. like,
Love it.
how have I not noticed that?
Yeah, very good.
Fucking A.
It's a blitz only card for
You know
sure.
what else this Ripple Away token does?
But anyways.
Someone gets a Blood Rot on you or inertia on you.
Oh, yeah,
you
no, it
discard this,
just
you get
counters
rid of that.
those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's all.
Love the art, man.
Extremely good.
They fucking hit it on the head with that art, man.
Yeah. I think it'll be a sideboard in a lot of decks.
Yeah. Okay. I think that kind of concludes for the heavy hitter set. I know, if our listeners were expecting a full set review, that you can kind of go back and listen to the last few weeks. We've been pretty avidly covering the spoilers and stuff. So a lot of these individual cards we've talked about, but I don't know. I think that about does it. Let's get into the expansion slot, though. I do want to talk about all of these, and then we can kind of go into questions after that. And
Yo, is that a cracked bottle in the expansion slot?
so we
Sean,
talked
that
about
one
the
goes up to
Assassin
you.
Dagger before. Card seems kind of sick. We talked about the Arachne card, also very powerful.
I'm
This
so hyped
fucking
for Judge,
Katsu.
Jury, Executioner.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Me too, man. But I do want to. I want to talk about this Ancestral Harmony card.
Dude,
I
card's
think.
busted.
I think this is the tome.
This
of
card
the-
is dumb.
so fucking good.
This card's
This is the
dumb.
tome of the set. I think this is your $30 or $40 Majestic.
I think
Is
this
my
exactly
early
what
predictions.
ninjas need too.
Let's read it. It's a blue pitch, 0 cost. So one of the
Turns out Kodachi.
two most important things in Ninja. Blocks for 3 as well. 3 most important things. It says your attacks. It's a ninja action, by the way. Sorry, your attacks with combo get +1 this turn. Banish the top card of your deck. If it has combo, you may play it this turn. Go again.
So good.
So this is like
Amazing.
a
So good.
Art of War that blocks and pitches for an extra card,
So good.
or pitches
Okay.
for an extra resource.
Can
That's
you-
what this card
Can you
is.
imagine this card tied onto an Art of War turn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
Yeah, man.
Gross.
Yeah, really not much to say other than this just seems. It
Good.
seems like generic in a very powerful way, though,
Yeah.
right? You read the card and you're
Yeah.
like, huh. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Like it's just
Just in
very
general,
clean, streamlined card
The
card design.
The math on this card alone is insane.
hmm
Yeah.
The fact, like Bailey was saying, Kodachis,
hmm
the 0 cost, so you can still use it for
Pitch.
for Katsu's ability to sync a card
Mhm.
for later game. And then the block 3.
Yeah, the block 3 on this is like is
Yeah.
great.
And if you're getting this on a dishonor turn, just beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I suppose,
Let
yeah.
alone without the Art of War. You don't even need it. This is an Art of War in itself. I don't know if it's a replace an Art of War, because
I think you can run both because this has one very important thing.
some people
and
do, some
that
people
is
don't run it.
block.
That's the thing. Some people do and some people don't.
I think the ones that don't will probably run this, but the ones that do will also probably run this. Because if they draw this off their Art of War turn, fucking perfect. It's a
Yep.
0 cost. You play that, you get another +1. You banish a card. Likely you're going to be able to play that one.
Surging
Yeah.
Strike coming in for 7 right off the rip.
That's
Into a take the tempo.
Into a Whelming Gust Wave for, what would that be? 7 again.
just overall, they really hit it out of the park with the expansion cards in this set. I feel like.
What?
I do want to move on to this Evo. Talk
That's-
about this shitty fucking Evo we got.
This trash can of a card.
First of all,
Well,
thing.
okay.
First thing you did wrong,
can't
LSS.
you
I'm
can't
going to
just-
call LSS out
You
on this
can't
one.
just go into this card right after I was hyping up the power of the expansion card slots.
I'm sorry, dude.
I love the
I'm
art.
sorry, dude.
Hands down, love
It's
the
not
art.
a base armor.
No.
Yep. Huge
So-
mistake.
So
Huge
you
mistake.
can't transform from this card.
No.
Which, I mean, that's why no one plays the Professor Teklovasin ones. You know, they're not base, so you can't ever transform on top of this, which is a big problem. But I will read it. When someone had spoiled this in our Discord, and without reading the card, I saw the art and I saw that it was an Evo, and I instantly, just with seeing the art, thought it was an Arcane Barrier piece of Evos that we would have.
Which would have been sweet.
Insane. Would have been great.
Oh,
Would have loved that.
Teklo over the top.
It just has AB3 or something. You know, you play it, has AB3.
I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, that's all you need. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Then you
That's
get
the
to then you get to
problem.
run your boots and still singularity.
Or no, what you do is you make the Evos have cards on top of this have AB. So then you can like get them before the Steel Souls, and then the Steel Souls have AB until you transform, and then
No.
you die.
I think you're asking for the world here, bud.
Anyways, this is a 1 cost, pitches for 3. It's action equipment. Arms. If you have a base arms equipped, transform it into this, then equip this. When this defends, you may destroy a card under it. If you do, gain control of target item with cost 0 or 1 controlled by the attacking hero. So it also blocks for 2 and has temper. So the temper on the 2 block sucks when most of the blue Evos block for 3 and have temper.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I don't think you're really caring about stealing items right now. Maybe this is just
Here's my
for in the
thought on it.
future type
I'm gonna
of
run
thing.
it just for the rhyme.
This is to help Tree Frog Dash block more, because it's just a 3 Evo arm that you could play on your turn while you're still setting up for your pistol, and then you have an extra 3 block. Because what arms do they use now? Galvanic benders for 1 block?
You can't transform galvanic benders into this. What would they run for arms?
No, I'm not talking dash.
Yeah, what would the
Tree frog dash?
Yeah, Ironhide.
Yeah, that's worse than this.
I don't think so.
You run the Cogworks arms, and then you get the benefit from the arms, and then you also get to run these, and then you get a 3 block. In the off chance that you're playing like a Kano, you can steal their E-pots. You can steal in the mirror like a boom grenade. Because then when they have it, you defend it against a boom grenade, and then you get to take that, and then it doesn't trigger.
Oh, it definitely works for like the Dash IO deck.
Yeah,
but
I think it just helps Dash IO get an actual arm block instead of having 2 adaptive platings.
Oh, you mean this is like a Dash deck, not a tech or a Dash card, not a Teklo card?
Yes, this is like Max Dash, not Teklo. This is like you're utilizing it for the block and the ability. In like a mirror or something like that, or a deck that runs E-pots like Wizard. You take an E-pot from a Wizard, almost good night to their, unless you perfectly pitch deck.
Yeah, dude. Wizards are fucked if you touch their pot.
Yeah. They're toast. They're toast. You're right. It is a shitty Evo for Teklo, but I think this helps the other mechanologists just have an extra arm block.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because you get the ability off Cogworks.
They really
I can see
run
that.
a lot of the Evos, though.
This would be the only one that they do.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're getting AB from arms, because what do you run for arms in a mech for AB? Nothing. Because you have the Visortronic model for 2 AB in the Achilles. Yeah.
At least the other decks other than Teklo don't need it. Teklo does need like the Rusted Relics and other stuff out.
So I think this just helps the other mechs.
Yeah, you could be right. I just instantly thought of,
Teklo
applications, and yeah.
It sucks for Teklo. I think it's great for the other ones, and like the mirror,
I can
like
see that.
Anything like that. But
have we talked about the Wizard one on pod yet?
No.
We can kind of wrap it up after this one. All the other cards I was looking at, we
already covered.
Yeah, we have covered them.
Wizard one looks great for UPF.
Yep. So the Wizard one is Aether Arc. It's a 0-cost blue pitch 3 block. Deal 1 arcane to each opposing hero. Create a ponder token for each hero dealt damage this way. Doesn't seem bad at all.
My only qualm with it is it specifies opposing heroes. I would 100% take 1 damage any day to fucking draw a card. Are you kidding me? Like,
pretty sure that's why it specifies opposing heroes, so that a Kano just can't rip this off the top, poke themselves, get a ponder, and then pass over to you.
yeah. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. 1 is so easy to cover up.
Yeah.
It's a blue pitch, which is nice. And I guess it replaces what, like a zap?
Because blue zap just deals 1 arcane, doesn't it?
Yeah, like sap, prognosticate. Prognosticate's not bad because it's an opt one if it deals damage. But like most of the time, they are gonna take the 1, but like you still have to burn a red or one of your pitch cards, which is also rough.
Yeah,
I think it's just an auto include in Wizard over like some of the shitty blues that they have.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like automatically.
It's just a good staple. It's not going to power creep too much.
No.
But it's just another tool you have.
No. It's just like 1 power swell tidings.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of puts your opponent into a situation where they have to AB it. Or God forbid you play it at the end of your turn when they've already AB'd all that they can AB.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I was underwhelmed when I first saw it.
I think it's just
It just
generally
reminds
good.
me too much of what's the other Iceland or the other wizard staff that draws a card when it deals 1 arcane that never actually
Kraken's
draws a
Aether
card?
Vein,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Because everyone just ABs it.
And I wasn't thinking about Kraken's asshole. I promise. I was thinking about Kraken's
Kraken's ass.
Is that what you meant to say?
Yes. The autocorrect just decided that I was not saying Aether Vein. and it auto-corrected to Kraken's asshole. So all the guys got a Discord message from me saying, "Hey, that looks like Kraken's asshole."
Oh,
That was the other story of my weekend, Fab. Yeah, everyone got that wonderful Discord message. You're welcome. I'll continue
Cool.
to grace you with my presence.
Yeah. I think that kind of covers it for
Heavy
Yeah.
hitters.
what we haven't gotten to in heavy hitters, though. Long story short, it looks like there's good power coming back in this set. I don't know. I'm very excited for the limited scene.
Who's your favorite hero coming out?
Victor.
Or what hero are you most excited for?
100% Victor.
Kasai.
Saw that one coming. I'm all about Betsy. She seems.
Kind of is your type.
I'm gonna.
If she ain't a lady, if she ain't 280.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna say Cheyenne.
Shut up. It's not a new hero.
And I
coming
don't
up.
even say that jokingly, dude, because she gets all these fucking new pieces, and I get to play with them.
In
Yeah.
this set, Ty,
And I won't
in
play
this
any of
set.
these heroes. I'll be playing Cheyenne. If I had to say though, like KO is the one that interests me the most. I think
We need to get Ty on like a brood or something.
probably never.
That's what you said about Mac.
That is what I said about Mac. You're right.
You're like, no, not ever. And then here you are with your creation,
I
and
know,
you're like,
I
rise, rise.
we we had a couple questions in the Discord, but we have a few saved up from a few weeks. We can get to those next week. I know it's super late, and
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
have the
pushing, like,
pre-release
1 a.m.
talk and then
I know.
do all that. Yeah, it's long.
It's a long one. It's been a long one tonight.
It's good though. But as Ty likes to say, let's get on out of here. We appreciate.
That's
every
not what I
single-
say.
No.
You
You
say
do.
that every time, and
You-
then it's
you
not
do.
what I say. No, I say let's get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough. But we appreciate all of you that have.
here, boys.
We appreciate every single one of you that have joined us for this adventure. We have actually gained a ton of listeners, so we appreciate all the people sharing our pod out there.
Yeah, and everyone that's coming back.
Yeah, that too. But you can always join the Discord in the show notes. And we have an email that's called bigdeckenergycast@gmail.com.
Hey-o, he did it. He did it.
Make sure you link the YouTube on the Discord too, or on
That
the
too. Show
Yeah,
notes.
Our YouTube
Yeah.
with 0 videos on it.
well, until we publish our. I did kind of say it like that.
Elmer Fudd or something like well,
Actually,
I'm gonna upload it tonight.
no. But no. Look forward to our.
Both of you
Everyone's
have
throwing
throwing your headphones off. now.
Wow.
Look out for our first UPF gameplay coming out. That should be hopefully by the end of the week. Out there.
Cool.
I'm excited about it. It was a great time playing.
That was a fun
UPF.
game.
was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. But as we like to say, signing off. Peace.
See ya.
As always, folks, it was a pleasure.
You motherfucker.
That was good.